Well, lots to talk about. That video that we were seeing there from our last storm that brought some wintry weather across parts of the west. Now we're tracking the next one. Thank you so much for joining us here on AccuWeather Weekend. I'm Bree.
And I'm Constanzer. The video making you want your winter clothes.
Definitely. I feel like we definitely dress for the occasion for what it's going to be like in the West. We have our dark colors. You have your booties on. Yep. We're ready to go. With that, we'll start you off with the satellite and radar here, just to kind of get a feel of what's happening right now. Here's the start. The lead in that train of storms is going to be impacting the northwest.
And you can see how big of a circulation it is as it works its way into British Columbia, Canada. Meanwhile, there's moisture from Christie that's leading to the clouds over California, but not really leading to those chances of rain. Elsewhere across the nation, fairly quiet. The exception North Carolina, they've got some showers to contend with this morning.
Yeah, we're also going to be turning cooler in this zone as well. You'll see that temperatures down to the 50s for this storm as it continues to make its way east. Out ahead of it, though, we have some record-challenging warmth on top of the winds. That's just going to help fuel this fire danger.
Getting very messy here, so you can see why that big dip in the jet stream is driving things so much differently here throughout a good chunk of the nation through the early week, and it'll pump up the heat off towards the east. Speaking of the heat, we've already kind of got it in place, at least a taste of it. 78 for the high in Rapid, quite that warm. Guess what? We're going up as we start off the work week for so many locations, and it all comes with some very strong winds too. We'll be watching that evolve tonight in through the upcoming days, especially across this region through the nation's midsection. This is where we'll have those strong winds that could gust to more than 40 miles per hour. So if you've got Halloween decorations out, make sure they are tied down and secured. Recycling bins, trash cans, and also just watch as you're traveling, because this can create some issues with travel. All of this warmth and the flow will kick off some thunderstorms as we head through late tomorrow and into tomorrow, going from the upper 70s on Monday back to the mid 40s for afternoon highs on Wednesday. Yes, these are both high temperatures here. So that's just a sign of how quickly we will fall off in the upcoming days. Let's track this storm system. You can see all the moisture in the interior west as we head through Tuesday. Ahead of it, look at that southerly flow pulling in. Again, could kick off some thunderstorms out there early on, but ultimately it's as we get throughout the late Tuesday time frame into Wednesday, that's where we see more of this moisture driving through. Is there snow on the backside of this for places like that? We see that potential for severe weather will be Tuesday. It stretches anywhere from Duluth, Minnesota, right into portions of northwestern Oklahoma, and will continue that threat then a little farther east as we step into Wednesday. All right, let's take you to as wildfire season continues. It's not just the West Coast that's dealing with wildfire risks. As you can see across the Northeast, we are dry. Driest October on record in New York City, Atlantic City. We're tied for that, Philadelphia into Nashville. So there's a lot of locations here that really have missed out on the rain, especially if we didn't get any moisture from Helene and that low pressure system that hung around for a few days with Helene. That's where most of us saw the rain if we saw it in the past 4 weeks. As we talk about your Sunday forecast, a cooler feel across New England as we stretch our way into tomorrow, but not overly cold. You can see all of this energy off towards the north, and then we watch this boundary here. Just kind of drives its way on south here towards Boston as we head into Monday. So it brings kind of that cold air, pushing it back into New England as we go throughout the day from the northeastern side as this all pivots around and more warmth builds off towards the west. So those numbers will be mild in Detroit, 62 for the high on Monday, 68. All great tips as we talk about this fall pattern, which has been one that's been sunny and bright because we haven't had much rain. You can see, though, where we had the rain over the past few weeks, it's been with each hurricane, Helene and Milton. So the recovery process still continues out there. Atlanta, a couple of showers still building on a boundary here today. We'll have some extra continuing into Monday. Monday, we have that easterly flow in Florida. Those showers will kick up. But beyond that, it is dry and bright for so. Give you an idea here of what we've got on tap across parts of the U.S. And you can see today's forecast showing you lots of dry locations, including Los Angeles. Temperatures there in the upper 70s. New Orleans here holding on to the mid 80s with plenty of sunshine out there for us. So great time to get out, do some activities, maybe see some of the sights if it's your hometown. You don't always get to do that every time. Detroit.
Well, thank you so much for sticking with with us here on AccuWeather Weekend. North Carolina is a year-round vacation destination, but hurry. Great tips there for your lawn. Switching gears, let's take you back to the southeast where we'll look at your recovery forecast. You'll note that Asheville, North Carolina, temperatures are dipping across the mountains of western and North Carolina. We're down to 57 here for our high today. Steinhatchee dry, St. Petersburg dry, but we're continuing to monitor